Hello, hello. Hi, hi, Padma.
Yeah, hi, Mahavir. Did somebody let us in
No,
finally?
I think it's automatically.
Okay, all right. I mean, because I was waiting for quite a bit before you came up.
Okay, no, because I guess someone must have.
Yeah.
Hi, Sriram. Hi, Kansh.
Oh
Hey,
no,
hey everyone.
that's my son's name.
Oh, is that your son? Okay, sorry. Good, you changed it, man. Yeah, sorry.
We're all sharing Zoom accounts,
I agree. I agree.
but that's always a good icebreaker for me.
Yeah.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is quite an event, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Although I must say, I felt like being a participant would have been better because you could have gotten more of the action. We are coming at the tail end of it.
Yep. So interestingly enough, the leads are not here. Okay, so
Okay.
someone just joined in, Ram.
Hi guys,
Hey,
this is Ram. I'm sorry we are a couple of minutes late.
No worries.
Standard, I will basically ask my team to join. Okay. So I think this is all judges panel, right? I can remember the names.
Yeah, yeah.
Ram, will you be sharing the Google form for
Yes,
judging?
yes. My team member is joining actually. So she will share the screen and I will moderate the session.
Sure.
Ram, could you please grant me
Yes, co-host.
access? Thank you. And Ram, is it 6 o'clock now? It's India time, 6 o'clock?
It's 6:36. Sorry, 6:06. So I think we are 6 minutes late.
Okay. Somebody asked to move their presentation. Let me see when they're going.
Did you guys post the link to the main?
Yes. Is the link posted? Let me see.
I think I can do if you want.
I am doing it.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thanks, Yasna. So, Yasna, I think you have to turn on your video because I think you are giving the timer clue, right?
Visual cue.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need your video for your visual cue.
Yes, just give me a minute.
Sure. So judges actually like if you can rename your names, actually like put as a add judges in your after your last name. That would be great so that all participants can recognize you guys. Thank you.
And do you want to rename yours? Put it hack team as well.
Yeah, I will do that. Thanks for reminding.
Yeah, no problem. That's why there's two of us.
No, your backdrop gives it away, so don't worry about it.
That's right. We can't hide.
I have renamed mine. Does it come as judge? Because I can't see it.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm just trying to figure out how you do it on an iPad actually. So
And you
hang
go
on while
to right click on your picture, it will work.
fantastic.
Okay.
But what is right click on? Okay, I'll.
No. I think let me see whether I can do it or not. Just give me 1 second.
No,
I
you
think
can
I
do
can
anything
rename.
on a PC, but I think the trick is doing
Yeah,
it
yeah.
on
Just give me.
on an iPad
I will
Pro.
add it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm doing it.
Yeah. Okay. I think you can bolt it on.
Yeah, I did now. Just a housekeeping thing. Judges, did you get the evaluation Google form?
Mm.
Not yet. We were told we
No.
will get it in the chat on the Zoom link, Zoom chat here.
Okay, perfect.
No. Yeah, I think we were also told that there would be a WhatsApp group. I think which Elizabeth
That
Kennedy
group is
is
actually-
forming.
What the group is ready, Padma. It's you must have received
A link. You have to use a link.
Okay.
link.
Did it come as a link? All right.
The link was sent to you on the
on the other chat of the previous Zoom.
Okay. Well, then I've lost that.
I might have it. Wait.
Oh.
Let me see if I can find that for you.
Yeah.
So Yasna, do you want to share the evaluation link to the judges?
I don't have it. Where is it?
Yeah, just give me a
Just to
minute.
check with the Team India Slack. Somebody would have posted there.
Okay.
Or just ask Freddie as well. And the few of you that are joining, we're just waiting for more people to join and then we'll get started. We're a little behind the schedule.
Okay.
And as you guys are joining, please mute yourself. Thank you.
Atma, I'm trying to get Elizabeth to put it on the group. I'll get it for you. So Javera is also trying, so we'll get it now. Just a second.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that she was going to put it up, but clearly
No,
she's having.
we'll get it for you. She's typing.
Yeah, she's probably got 100 people to add to WhatsApp. So.
This link is easier than adding 100 people together.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we will share it with you on the chat here privately, Padma, so that it's just the judges and not.
Mahavir, I can send it to her phone. Don't worry.
Yeah, just send it to her phone
No,
individually.
I can.
Is what
Don't
I meant.
worry.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can you add me as well to the chat, please?
So I will send you on a private chat here.
Sure,
Atma, I'll
thanks.
send it to you. You just click on it, it'll get added.
Sure.
And same to me, Mahavir, if I can get the link.
Sure.
Mania here.
Muthu, you're sending to Padma.
I've already
I'll send
done.
it to
Padma's
Sriram.
done.
Okay. So Manya and Sriram, you need it, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Sriram.
For the few of you who are just joining us, we're just waiting a few more minutes for more people to join before we kick off the session. We'll start soon.
I've shared it with both of you privately on this chat here on the Zoom.
Yeah.
Thanks, Naveed.
Just click and join.
Atma has already joined.
No, I've not shared it with her. I've just shared it with you.
Yeah, but she's already joined, so don't worry about her.
Okay, great.
And you want me to ping the link to anybody else? I can. I have it cut and paste now.
I've shared it already. I had it.
Okay. I see why you don't want to put it in the group. Everyone can see. We have judges.
I mean, I'm sure they don't mind seeing it.
I was wondering why you were doing one by one. Now I see why.
Yeah.
So the link which you guys are talking is for WhatsApp link, right? Not the evaluation.
Judges
WhatsApp group. It's
a judges WhatsApp group for us to chat and to get information from the core team and to network after the event is over.
Perfect.
Right, we're up to 64 people. And we are 15 minutes behind the schedule. So I think we can safely go ahead and get started at this point, Ram.
Yeah, but I'm just waiting for the evaluation sheets be delivered to the judges, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have it. Should I send it through Slack?
Could you post it on the judges Slack channel?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
and we'll wait for the confirmation.
I'm not part of the Slack. Would someone from the Slack post it on the WhatsApp group for Group C?
I think a WhatsApp group, I think a lot of judges are there. I think they should put it in the chat in this one so that all of us can take it.
Let me ask Elizabeth to do that.
Yes, I think you can chat privately for the 4 of the judges, right? Send the link to them from Zoom.
Okay.
While we were doing that, yeah.
Oh, just checking if it is the same link for everyone, or then you could put it in the chat window, just a few of us here. Instead of sending it privately, we'll save some time.
No, but there are participants here too, right?
Are they there already?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we have 64 people on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that.
No problem. Ram, do you want to kick it off because we have a few slides to go through and then we'll pause and check if everybody got the form?
Yeah, definitely.
Is that all right? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen.
So Yasna, did you ping them?
Yes, I am sending it here. We have.
Yeah, I will kickstart the event and I will wait for the acknowledgement before we start the presentation.
Thanks.
Okay. So welcome everyone and to MIT COVID Challenge. India turning the tide. So thanks a lot for everyone for the participation from last couple of days. Yeah, next slide. It's again, this is for track C, final presentation. In this track, we are basically like you will be hearing about addressing key challenges faced by micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Next. First of all, thanks, judges, for your time, for attending this session. We are looking forward and very glad having you here. Yep, these are all sponsors and partners. Okay. Yeah, I think you can, next slide. Yep. So you will be judged across 4 criteria. Basically, one is impact, innovation, implementation, and presentation. Yep, next. Okay, these are some certain logistics, which is very important. So the presentations are recorded, okay? And multiple team members can present and answer Q&A, okay? You will have 3 minutes to present and 2 minutes for Q&A. And the order you present is random, and we will basically notify you which team comes next so that you guys can prepare, except the first team. Sorry. Yeah. If you will be presenting for your team, please raise the hands. And I think like you can unmute yourself, right, Dana?
Yes, raise your hand and mute yourself. And actually to that point, I can let you know now that the first team presenting will be team number 14, just to give you guys a couple of minutes notice.
Thank you, thank you. So when it is your turn to present, you will unmute and turn your video on, okay? I will, basically Dana will flip your sides. And I will give you 1 minute warning with a visual clue. I think like Yasna will do that. Yasna, please, can you show the visual clue? Oh, wow. I love that one.
I know, professional sign.
So all participants, please look for Yasna.
Wait, can you please show that visual sign again, please?
Please, yeah. Are we good?
Yep. And she has another sign for when your time is over. Do you want to do the sign, Yasna? Here we go.
Oh, wow.
So just keep an eye on her and you know your time is out.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
okay.
Sorry, how
Perfect.
to see the sign? I don't see any sign.
You guys cannot
Oh.
see the sign. Can anybody
Yasna.
see Jasna on the screen?
Dana, and Ram, what I
Yeah, we can
recommend
see,
is
yeah.
sometimes when a presentation is being made, only 5 people are visible on the top, and people who are
Yes.
speaking come on the priorities. What I recommend is if you just prompt quietly, 1 minute left, time over, and that's about it. Quietly while the presentation is on.
Can you guys see? Okay, got it. Okay. Second.
We can do both. I can show the sign if they are.
Okay. And
My screen, and if not, I also am going to say, please stop. Just be aware that I am going to say 1 minute left.
okay, thank you. And the judges will pick 4 winners for this track. Okay. And okay. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for all your efforts. I think like you guys have done awesome. Just take a deep breath and relax. I think you guys will do good. Yep, let's start. Okay, next slide, please. So team C04, C014, Stronghold. Please unmute yourself, the presenter.
I just wanted to check, every judge got their forms, right? And
Oh, I'm sorry.
they
Yeah.
want us to.
Yes, we got it. It was privately on the.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
Awesome.
And just remember, guys, that there is a 1 form per team. And we'll remind you of the numbers. But team 14 is now, the next team is team 100. Just be prepared next. All right.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm team 14.
Perfect. Yeah, Nishant.
Yeah. Okay. So next slide, please. Okay.
So
we are
as
going
it do,
to
right, just say next, that is enough, okay? So that like it will not stop your flow.
Yeah. So can I start now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So the approach we'll be using is the one which Winston Churchill has suggested: never let a good crisis go to waste. And the problem which we are tackling right now is the agricultural sector is facing a lot of losses because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And it is not because of the drop in demand. The demand has actually risen because people have realized the importance of food, and still there is losses. Next. The losses are because of the disruptions in the supply chain. So the supply chain is disrupted because of the COVID, and we can see in the news daily that hundreds of tons of watermelon and mangoes are going waste on the farmer side, not on the customer. And this is because of the government policy. So we cannot do anything about that, but we have to find an alternative. Next. Our analysis is that currently India needs estimate of 350 lakh tons of cold storage, but we only have 226 lakh storage. So we need much bigger cold storage facilities, and it is time consuming. So we cannot go for that right now. So our proposed solution is reefer container. Next. Reefer containers are what we use to carry cargo across the sea on ships. The temperature we can maintain is -42 + 30 degrees temperature, and they are actually very small, around only 40 feet containers, and they are like huge fridge, and we can store a lot of food in it. And and it can also be movable. We can transport it by trucks and trains. Next. And what is the purpose of this? In the short term, we know that the supply chain is disrupted and it is causing delays. Hence, we can counter that delays. We can keep the food safe during the delays. And in the long term, we know that tomatoes and onions are going bad. They skyrocket the prices skyrocket during some part of the year, and they fetch zero value during the other time. So we can regulate the prices and benefit the customers and farmers. Next. So during business aspects, the reefer container is around 40 footer, and it costs around $8,000, and it can store about 28 tons of agricultural produce in it. So what we propose is government shall give some subsidy on that, and so that the farmers can form unions, or they can combine. Many farmers can come together, and because in India currently they are all small farmers, they own very small lands, so they can come together and rent a reefer, and they can use that to store their cargo. Next. Who will benefit? Currently, the estimates is that in India there are 14 crore farmers, and the farmers who are currently producing perishable goods and are not using the cold storage and who are still far from the end customers, they are around 40 million farmers. So we expect that it will benefit around 40 million farmers. Next.
Your time is up.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, if time's up, then okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think if you can quickly go through the remaining slide deck, judges will have opportunity just for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, so what we will save is around, even if we estimate that if the farmers will get 50 rupees
Nishant,
on 1 kg, we will be saving around 14 lakh rupees or $19,000 on one season. Yeah.
Nishant,
okay.
I think yeah, Dana will just go through the end of the slides so that we'll have.
That was it.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So judges, actually, you have 2 minutes for Q&A.
Let me quick question. What is the power consumption of these things? Have you included that in your calculations?
No, I have not included the power consumption, but it is around, each reefer takes around 11 kilowatt of power. So it is not such huge power, but we consider the rent concept. So we will include the power and maintenance charges in the rent of the reefer. So we expect the government will earn back their subsidy within a year or two by the rent model.
Where do you plan to keep this?
Right.
It should be somewhere near the agricultural lands, not very far, so that the farmers can come regularly and store their cargo there. And it is only 40 footers, so it can be just on the farm or nearby, just beside the road.
But then the problem statement you identified was more on the customer side, right? Because the customer will not be able to access the produce. So how does this solve the supply chain problem of getting the produce to the customers?
No, the problem was actually the farmers are having a loss in the agricultural sector because the produce is not reaching the customer. So we are making sure the cargo is not spoiled on the way and the farmers do not have the loss. The customers are even willing to pay a premium, but they are not able to, the demand is there, but it is not reaching the customers. So we are making sure that the produce reaches the customer.
The farmers will pay for this?
We have suggested that the government will give full subsidy or minimum subsidy. If they are giving full subsidy, the rent will be higher. Even if the government is not willing, there are many capitalists who are willing to invest in this, so that it is a very good value on investment, because I said you get the value back in less than 1 year. Each container is only $8,000, but we could save on the tomato prices only $19,000 in 1 year. So it is a good value on investment. So it is 28 tons per container. So it is you can get the return very fast.
Basically, you are
the time is up, unfortunately.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Indranil. I'll be representing Team C100. Am I audible?
Yeah. Indranil, just 1 second. I think we'll give a couple of seconds for judges to finish the evaluation sheet.
Okay, cool.
And
Yeah.
that was
And
team number 14 that just presented.
so guys, I think the current team who will present is C100. And the coming up team, please watch out and be prepared, C037. Okay, Spot Hub. Yep, I think Indranil, you can start now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Indranil from Team Praram. So yeah, that Praram literally translates to auspicious beginnings in Hindi. The problem statement that we are trying to solve is revival of struggling businesses of MSMEs through unique incubation program. Next slide. So it is necessary to address this problem as of now because this industry has been incurring huge losses during the pandemic, including financial loss of 164 billion US dollars. Also, 25 million people have lost their jobs, and similar stats are there on the slide. Next slide. Yeah, to conquer this, we are providing a solution based on a feedback that we took from around 45 small scale industries. So we are proposing a solution to be a small incubation facilities set up under corporate firms that will help these MSMEs to retain their employees, as well as it will help them to adapt to the economical challenges provided by COVID-19 pandemic. Moving on. Next slide, please. Yeah, so stakeholders involved here are corporate firms and MSMEs. So for onboarding of corporate firms, it is a straightforward process. We'll reach out to them and show them our proposal and show them our incentives. A similar process for MSMEs located in Tier 1 cities. When it comes to MSMEs in villages, we'll approach Sarpanch and village development officers. Next slide. So value proposition for MSMEs here is mentoring and financial aid from corporate firms, which will definitely increase their production capacity, and a good social media reach so that their products are there on already established channels of corporate firms. For corporate firms, it is definitely going to increase the product catalog of this variety in products. Also increase in profit due to they will be having small shares in many MSMEs. Also increase in publicity due to PR campaigns like Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India. Next slide, please. Yeah,
1 minute.
We have decided to narrow it down to a single industry of apparel industry because this industry contributes to 8.75% of total GDP of MSME industry. And as you can see, it has a lot of MSMEs involved here. Next slide. So our implementation plan will include, first we'll reach out to Niti Aayog organization and also Ministry of MSME, which will aid us in this implementation of this program. And onboarding of corporate firms and then onboarding of MSMEs. Also, we'll be monitoring processes for 2-3 months and we'll propose this successful model to Government of India. Also for database of this MSMEs, we can get it through Udyam scheme of Indian government, which is like an Aadhaar card for businesses. Okay, that was the last slide is my team slide. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Right on time.
Wonderful. So judges, you have 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So Indranil, you said that you took feedback from 45 small scale industries.
Yeah.
Can you describe the process of that?
So yeah, I'm from IIT Madras, and we had one event which also involved MSMEs. So we took 45 feedbacks from startups and MSMEs in Chennai and Madras region. And based on that, we suggested the model that it was there in the PPT.
So that event was before this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
Any other questions?
Any reason you narrowed down to just the apparel industry?
Sir, we thought of instead of doing it on a large scale, why not try it out on a single sector of industry, or and also limited to a geographical area where probably there will be great density of these MSMEs, so that once we can we can successfully implement the model there, and we can generalize it and implement on larger scale.
Hello, judges. Adding to the Indranil's point, apparel industry, it contributes to 9% of the total MSME GDP. So it's kind of a significant sector in MSMEs.
How are you different from all the existing incubators?
Sir, the existing incubators are for startups, and we thought of incubating the MSMEs because this is the right time so that we can help them financially as well as on business aspects and digitalization of their business. So that and also this model is not just limited to pandemic. It can be also long-term solution, so that big brands of the same industry can definitely collaborate with smaller scale MSMEs.
But don't you think you will be competing with existing banks and NBFCs and government policies which is supporting MSME grounds?
Sorry, I didn't get you, sir.
Don't you think you will be competing banks and microfinancers and NBFCs and government grants to MSMEs in all sectors?
Like banks and all these grants are just providing financial help is what I think.
Yeah, but that is the core. Why would anyone come to you just for marketing? Without finance, you will not have the traction. You know, the finance is the bait, in my opinion. And every government is allowed 20% top up on existing.
Hey, Indranil, you have 20 seconds to answer this, okay? In the essence of time.
Yeah, so yeah, I can also very agreed to the point that financial assistance is a big bet. So, but what we are proposing here is a complete incorporation of MSMEs into a big corporate. So along with the financial assistance, we're talking about a complete package of mentoring, product development, marketing channels, production capacity increase. So it's a complete incorporation where both the parties' interest lies in the same way of increasing the growth of the MSME, and not just providing them with financial fund and leave it to them to prosper. We are telling them that we are there with you to support you through the process.
Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Aniket.
Thank you.
Okay. So just for judges, the team which presented was C100 for your evaluation. Yep. Okay. So the next team is C37, Spot Hub.
Hello.
Yep. Yeah, the next team in the presentation is C7, okay? C7 team, please prepare. Yeah, okay then. Saurabh, yeah.
Yeah, I can go to the next slide. Yeah, next. Yeah. Good day, everybody. We would like to present a Spot Hub. I mean, I'll share, before getting into the problem, I'll share a very nice incident which was suffered in fact last month. You know, a German company was supposed to get a business deal in Indian clients in the Indian micro and sector industries, but for the manufacture of the valve pumps. But unfortunately, this deal was signed off to the Chinese companies, despite having 65 million MSMEs in the service sectors, and despite the fact knowing them that it would cost them $3 to $4 more per piece. Now, the reasons exactly it goes for is the lack of the latest upgraded technology, globally updated technology, and the data transformation, short-term business vision, and no customer-focused approach. And the major challenge which we feel is, like around in India, approx 900 million people go without the internet connectivity. So the major challenge is how do we reach out to them? Next thing. So here we provide a solution which is quite different from the ongoing problem solvers in the market. We have an online platform as well, but this we focus on the offline platform. We have we tie up with the sales representative or the sales agents. We do not hire them. We just tie up so that they work and they have to then further into discussions with the business or the industrial associations and also the trade worker unions, which have access to a larger number of the ground workers. Next one. So the solution we reach out is the offline reach, which covers around 900 million people. So it's like, you locally sourced sales agents, which are quite good in their regional languages and also in their skills and expertise, which they can reach out individually and talk face to face with the ground workers, which are there in billions. So the competitive advantage, it generates the local employment. It will boost the job formation. Also, we can reach out to a larger scale of community, which are not tech friendly or don't have access to the internet. There is no upfront money required. And it will go on the commission-based business model, which will be win-win for all the situation. Next slide. These are we can offer an online marketplace easy for if we try to focus on the micro scale businesses, weavers, laborers, or the ground floor workers and the artisans. Next. This is just a prototype of the app which we have created for the online perspective. So I won't get into deeper into it. Next one. Yeah, how it works. So to basically walk into an example, suppose if our team SpotUp has get a data, or we do get into the orders for any international or integrated international company, we do upload it on the online platform, and we do also inform all the sales representatives all over the world. And then what we do is we get to all the different and unscattered locations for it, apart from them, and then these guys reach out to artisans, laborers, contractors, ground workers, whoever can sign it off, deal off. And then once the deal is done, they get the commission percentage as determined by the sales representative. And about and about us, we'll move forward as a fixed percentage. That's all. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Judges, you have 2 minutes.
Who takes care of the quality of the? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Who takes care of the quality of the completed product? Okay.
Sorry, I can't hear.
Who takes care that the final product, which was order that was placed, is of the good quality and people are happy, right? If something goes wrong, who's responsible?
Actually, it will be a tie-up between the company and the the ground source workers, and so it will be just sort of a matchmaking in it. Once the deal is done, we are out of the picture, because we have to make tie-up, and because if the source problem is not, then it's not our responsibility.
So, Saurabh, is it like an expanded urban clap? Like you've included different types of?
No, exactly. Urban clap is there, but we just take a data transformation from the urban clap, and they are like insurance agents, sales representatives, how they get commission and all. So basically, we are trying to get to the unscattered location. There are various of them. I myself, being a startup, I have been through this, so I can very much correlate with that. So the more the heavy you put up your success, and then you get your commission. So the more you work harder, the more you're successful, the more you earn the money. That's model.
But once you get the project and you hand over to these workers, you said you will get away. Then how does a customer get guaranteed it will be completed?
No, actually, there was, in fact, for any one proposal, we have around 10 of the customer. I mean, we have 10 micro enterprises. So it depends on the customer for whom he has to select as per their previous experiences or the turnover or whatever the products they have already manufactured and all. So that's not our perspective. In fact, the foreign clients, he will decide as per this, like how we take a job graduates in an interview. Just to give an example.
Okay.
Don't you think MSME should have a subscription model also? Because once I get a good salesperson and he or she makes a sale, I would then not need the platform to continue to engage with other salespeople. I should also have a subscription model.
Yeah, so we have thought of it, but at least in the times of COVID, until we will move with the freemium model as of now, and obviously we're having some grant from the government also, like SIDBI and MSMEs. So for that, at least for a year and a half, at least for 1 year, I think the freemium model should be much more viable.
Okay.
The time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anit. Have a great time.
Yep. Thank you. So that is C37. Thank you. Okay. So the next team up is C007.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Is it Onkar?
Yeah, me and Dhiren.
Perfect.
So we have 2 presenters.
Okay, perfect. And the next team coming up is C34. Yeah, go ahead, Onkar.
Yeah, so hello everyone. We are Team Shramik. You can go to the next slide. Next, please. So if you have spent your childhood, the one before. Yeah. So if you have spent your childhood in India, then during summer breaks, hearing the bell from your favorite ice cream seller was one of the most exciting thing that you have experienced. But these vendors not only sell ice creams, but also many life essential goods, such as vegetables. And if you see all over India, there are approximately 10 million of these vendors. But as of today, these vendors are facing a high competition from the retail stores due to the lack of customer engagement that these vendors have and due to a fierce price competition. So to solve this issue, we have came up with an app-based solution. Next slide.
Right. So our solution is a hyper-local marketplace app for street vendors, pushcart vendors, and so on. What are the benefits to the vendor from this app? They get an additional order channel from the traditional channel. They can better prepare their routes. And in addition, they can also get advertising income on these carts that they use. The monetization model for this app, there is subscription for vendors, there is in-app advertising, and there is advertising on carts. And the products for this category are several. I mean, groceries, plastic, ice cream, and so on. Next slide. This is one use case where a customer gets alerts when a vendor arrives. So the vendor starts his daily routine. When he arrives near the apartment, the app notifies the customer that yes, the vendor is available based on GPS signals. So then the customer then comes down, visits the vendor and places the order and makes the payment. And then when the vendor moves on, the next location is customer at the next location is notified in the app that the vendor is available. Next slide. So the challenge is how do we get the vendors to adopt this and onboard them into the platform? So one idea that we have is we distribute low-cost smartphones with the installed app to the vendors. The other idea is that we need to have localized this application so that customers and vendors can both use it. And then we need to have training camps. And in addition, we will have how-to videos so that they can keep referring to it if they get confused. The future plans for onboarding include SMS-based offerings, smartphones on rent, and tie-ups with other marketplaces. Next slide. This is the team that built it. There's 5 of us, 4 of us are students, and I'm a digital consultant. Next slide. So this is a summary of our solution. We are offering an app-based hyperlocal marketplace solution that offers benefits to all the mobile vendors who don't have a fixed store. And customers can find those vendors in their locality. They get alerts, and vendors also get alerts when customers want to engage with them. Thank you.
Right on time.
Excellent. So judges, yeah.
Are you, is the alerts coming via the location of the app download of the vendor and the consumer?
Yeah.
So are you not jeopardizing with the security of the consumer? Why would they download? Why would I tell everyone that I'm home right now and not home or whatever? Why would I share my GPS location with a third-party app?
No.
No, it's the vendors.
Yeah, you register on the app. You give your address where you want the delivery and the products to be delivered. And when the vendor arrives, the vendor has a GPS on. So you get alerts in the app that the vendor is available.
Okay.
It's sort of like
how do you acquire the customer? Because I can understand you're distributing, free phones and so on. That's one way to get the vendor. But how are you going to acquire the customer? Why would I download your app?
Right. So there's 2 methods. One is when the vendor is transacting through when the vendor is selling vegetables to you, he will mention that he has this app, which makes it easier for you to engage with the vendor. And second is marketing, local marketing.
And therefore your unit CAC, how would it change? Let's say with 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 customers. You wouldn't have done the calculation, but you have some sense of that?
Local marketing, newspaper flyers, it's 2% conversion.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So this is more of you're giving certain business to the vendor, right? Ultimately, what is the main value proposition of this app?
If you look at the sales funnel or the e-commerce funnel, awareness is a big challenge. When the vendor is mobile, you don't know when he's available or not. We solve that problem.
I see.
How does it help in the pricing margins and stuff that you had indicated earlier?
Actually, that's an extension of the app model. You can give incentives for loyalty.
Time is up.
Yep, thank you. And this is Team 007.
Thank you.
Thank you. And
Thank
the
you.
next team, okay.
Sorry, the next team was what?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the slide.
No, the number,
Yeah,
the number.
The 34.
Just a suggestion. I think there are also backup slides in our presentation, so you might want to go a bit further on the slides.
Thank you.
Okay, the team next to TechBrain is C80. Okay.
Am
Okay.
I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Can I start?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Namaste. Next slide. Meet Mr. Ravi from India, the second largest agriculture country with 44% of workforce directly or indirectly in agriculture, contributing just 17 to 18% in GDP. Ravi, with 1.2 hectares of land and 5,000 liters of water availability, can produce 1.3 tons of yield, resulting to an ROI of 140%. When we traced this problem, we saw that Ravi selected a wrong crop. So, next slide. Here are we, intelligent crop recommendation platform TechGrain. Next. While identifying problem which Ravi had, we define our 5 grains. Who is this grain? Traditional farmers and farming communities. What is this grain? It's a localized crop selection model to yield, to have a high yield and to meet consumer demand. Where and how to find this grain in beginning of every agriculture cycle across India. So why are we finding this grain? To force multiply the farm produce and to enhance the contribution to the GDP. Inclined with the mission of PM Modi of transforming farmers into an entrepreneur with investment opportunities and making India a food basket of the world, our mission is pinned to optimize and automate the crop selection for farmers by using AI ML. Next. So Mr. Ravi has been given an app with multi-linguistic features to fill following details to log in. Next. Mr. Ravi also filled farmer details and other required details. The app already has auto weather detection based on GPS location. Next. Mr. Ravi got recommendation of wheat and maize. He can also avail schemes like Beet Se Bazaar to see what kind of seeds he requires, what kind of pesticides he requires, and fertilizer. Meanwhile, he can also connect to the vendors. Mr. Ravi can also see his neighbors growing crops in his vicinity. Next. While we were helping Ravi to become an Atmanirbhar Kisan, we were trying to connect the dots of looking into the factors of irrigation system and soil profile. Next. Mr. Ravi is happy now, even with an old phone, because he can still use the tech. He did a correct crop selection with a good quality seed, which increases his yield and made him richer. In terms of feasibility, this prototype can be tested on states like Gujarat, which claim to have nearly perfect agriculture data. We will be using open source tech to make it more efficient. Next. Thank you. This is the team behind TechGrain. Next. And next. So this is the appendix and we are open to questions now.
So this, the inputs that we'll provide to the farmer would be once per season, right? Once per sowing season.
Yeah, depending on the crop and the agriculture cycle which he's following.
Are you offering just a recommendation or also other inputs?
So at the very first stage, we are going with crop recommendation system, but at the later phase, we can offer like crop insurance and enabling e-commerce and many more features.
Have you worked on this prior to the weekend?
No, not at all. This was just an idea which we 7 people just got when we collaborated over this idea.
How is it relevant to the COVID? I mean, I think it's a problem that everyone has been facing and shall continue to face. I don't know why did you guys choose of this? This is not a COVID situation.
Yeah, definitely. I would not say that this is very inclined to COVID, but this problem of the problem of farmer suicide, doing suicides and getting into pressure is a long-term problem which we wanted to solve in COVID as well as.
Agreed. But it's a very competitive field. There are quite a few non-profits already in the domain.
I don't think, I mean, we did our part of research, but we didn't find a single entity who is doing a crop selecting feature. A lot of entities are collecting real-time data of the farm and then making that data available to other enterprise, but they are not working on crop rotation or crop selection features.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, what team number was that?
Yeah, the team is 34. C34. Okay. I think the next team is C80, Speedy Recovery. And
Hello.
as a heads up, the next team who is going to present is C60. Okay, who is presenting for Speedy Recovery?
I will be representing.
Perfect. Go ahead, Shafaq.
Hello to one and all. Please go to the next one. In this present pandemic, the economy has taken a severe hit. Despite the repeated process of unlocking, not many businesses can get back in the running. After weeks of sanitization and performing due diligence before reopening the enterprises, workspace have had to shut down within a few days because some of the employees tested positive. And now we're back in the lockdown with much further losses to combat. Next. Speedy Recovery aims to break the cycle of shutting, reopening, and then shutting down again due to positive cases within the workplace. Our goal is to combat the medical and psychological repercussions of having a COVID positive employee without incurring further losses for the management of the company. Our objective is to provide, Our objective is to provide an economic solution to availing medical and psychological expertise using existing devices. Next, to walk you through our system, we propose to upgrade the thermometers and oximeters currently being used by several MSMEs with our software. Next, the hitherto temporary readings of the employee will now be archived and stored in a worker's profile. Apart from these, we also propose to collect other symptomatic data by integrating the existing CCTV feeds with our big data predictive model. Next, apart from the data collection, we shall provide a pool of medical experts to diagnose the records on a daily basis. After passing through our preliminary filters, the data of only the employees not falling within the parameters of optimal range will report in our medical expert system, and he or she can report back the feedback and suggestions to the employer. Similarly, we provide a counseling session for the workplace and the recovered employee post-treatment. We endeavor to partner with the Indian government under the Digital India Drive and collaboration with the Ministry of MSME in order to ensure a smooth implementation in such dire situations of the pandemic. Our system will require minimum installation charge from the MSME. For those who do not have the said requirement, a slightly higher installation package will cover all their needs. So our benefits, why choose the Speedy Recovery? It's because we track the employee's health, we give uninterrupted running of the business, and we give counseling to mitigate the social stigma associated with those who have tested positive. Next, one of the last implications of Speedy Recovery is that it can be used for any other disease monitoring, a one-time cost to cover the medical needs of the workplace. Thank you. And this is our team, which has planned their efforts for this enterprise.
Thank you. Thank you, Shafaq. Judges, it's...
What exactly are you planning to write within the devices? You said you're going to run your software within the pulse oximeters and thermometers.
So basically, we are taking an archiving approach. Right now, the pulse that they are being taken and all the readings that are being taken, it's on a temporary basis. You take the reading of one employee and then you shift to another, your data is lost. So what we are proposing is that when you take the employee's health and oximeter data, it gets stored in the profile of the work so that you have a general trend. You can map and bar, you can chart the progress or the progress of the health condition of the employee.
So you're basically going to use Bluetooth enabled devices or something like that?
Yes, yes.
What is your go-to-market strategy? How will you acquire MSMEs?
We plan to collaborate with the government of India under Digital India Drive. Quite presently, they also had a challenge of Atmanirbhar App Challenge for COVID and MSME to how to boost them during this situation. So we are proposing to go under that particular drives in order to go to the government and have an installation with them.
What about data privacy? I think this can become very sensitive data.
Actually, yes. So we did look up the legality of medical records, of whether we are allowed to store medical records for the employees. And we did check that the government has started the medical, digitization of the medical records for a third party in case of such cases. Just like an Apple Watch in these places, how they work with the record of data. Similarly, they have started this process of digitizing the medical records by a third party.
How long have you guys been working on this?
Actually, we started just on Friday night or Saturday morning.
No, but you said you had something else you'd done earlier. You're going to use the same thing.
No. We are talking about the existing things that are being used currently in the society that we will incorporate within our system. Like the thermometers and oximeters are presently being used by all the infrastructures, and we are just going to install apps into the system.
The cost of putting all those together would not be very economical to go out because we work on disorder devices.
I agree, but that is the thing, that we are only coming with an installation charge and nothing more than that. And the benefit that we are providing actually is that you do not have to shut down your company just because 2-3 employees have tested positive. So actually in the long run, it keeps your business running than incurring losses of desanitizing and then reopening and then shutting back and then sanitizing and then opening.
Okay, thank you.
But some of these decisions are based on government policies as well, right? So
Time is up. I'm sorry.
Yep, thank you.
Please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Shafaq and judges. Yep, okay. So that is C80 judges, speedy recovery.
80, correct?
80, yes.
Using a random number generator?
What?
Sorry, I was just asking whether using a random number generator or just putting them on the
Yeah,
app.
we use random generator.
Okay.
Okay, so the next is C60. I don't know how to pronounce this task. Yeah.
Credit. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. The next team is C12. Be ready, guys. But right now is C60. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hi, we are Sthaniya Sahayata, and we want to jumpstart local MSMEs with local labor. Next slide.
COVID has resulted in MSCs losing loyal customers. Customers prefer home delivery and are hesitant to leave their houses. MSCs receive a large number of orders, but the lack of migrant labor who have left for their hometowns has caused a delivery bottleneck. We also have unorganized laborers, drivers and maids who are now unemployed. We want to match the delivery bottleneck due to delivery shortage with unemployed labor and jumpstart the economy. Next, please.
This problem involves 3 stakeholders. First, MSMEs who know their customers, what they buy and when they buy it. Second, unemployed labor with modest transportation like bicycles or autos. And finally, customers who know what local MSMEs offer but are hesitant to go to these stores for fear of catching the infection. Next slide. We have created Sthasa to match local unemployed labor to local MSMEs, requiring manpower to deliver goods, load, unload, stock, etc. Now, MSMEs are not just Kirana stores, but they could be computer repair stores or even photocopy services.
MNCs that receive orders can update the app requesting for manpower for the next 4 to 40 hours, and interested laborers can accept the request. Next, please.
We want Sthasa to feel personal and organic. We want MSMEs and laborers to hear about it from their friends and families. So MSMEs will onboard first in specific hotspots, and then we will reach out to employers in residential community to spread the word to their drivers and maids. Next, both parties will sign on to Sthasa and specify a local language that they speak.
The laborers will provide their phone numbers and a scan of their Aadhaar card and browse requests. Then the backend does verifications. It is extremely important to us to help even those without smartphones or devices. We plan on using an SMS or phone call stream, as well as promoting the concept of crowdsourcing for such communities. Next, please.
For our pilot, we have identified 2 locations in Bangalore with around 100 MSMEs each. We hope to convince around 30% to join with approximately 200 casual laborers by Dashera to capitalize on festive season purchases and deliver on the promise of light in these dark times. We could also use a seed capital of around 10,000 to serve as an insurance pool.
Next, we aim to deploy our app in 20 localities with around 2,000 MSCs and partner with vehicle rental agencies, which would allow individuals without vehicles to deliver goods. Next, please.
Why do we matter? Because we act as a trusted intermediary. Not only do we not charge commissions, but we also reduce the number of people visiting stores, and we promote local growth with local stakeholders. Next.
How are we different? We cater to MSMEs with short-range customers and provide timely delivery. We are flexible. Our labor force can deliver as well as help in loading and unloading goods. We are affordable and time-effective. Next, please.
Quickly going over our team, the 2 of us are part of this team. We're involved in stakeholder engagement and operations. And we're so excited to get started. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Judges, you have 2 minutes for Q&A.
You are both from the same location. So how long have you guys been working on this?
We started working on it only on Friday. We actually didn't have a good idea until Saturday because our mentors told us to kind of change the track we were working on. So we had to kind of bin what we were working on and start.
Why didn't you all get other team members besides the 2 of you?
Sorry?
Why didn't you all get others to be part of the team besides the 2 of you, since you already know each other? One of the activities is to have a multi-faceted team. So why have you not done that? Is there any reason?
There's no particular reason. We thought that people were supposed to reach out to teams. We didn't really know how to interact with the other people in the hackathon. We were completely willing to take anyone who wants to join us. So yeah, we're totally open to collaborate.
Okay. If you're not planning to take a commission, how do you plan to scale?
So currently we're trying to work as a non-profit model. We do not want to make any profit. We're just trying to ensure that we're jump-starting these local economies.
But profit is different from taking commission, right? Like, how do you plan to run if you don't take any money from these dealings, right? That's the question.
So one of the things we're trying to do is, at least for the pilot model, not take any commissions, so that people at least can onboard and have these activity hotspots such that word of mouth spreads faster. And then after that, it's possible that we might look into taking commissions. But at least for the short term, we're not planning on doing that.
Okay.
And how would you scale up if you're not going to be taking any money? Who will pay for it?
Right. So for the short term, we're actually planning on doing it in only 2 locations in Bangalore. And what we want to do is try to figure out what are the pain points, what are the things we can improve in to understand the optimal workflow. And once we get the perfect model, we might explore using commissions or some model like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time is up.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
This was team C80, right? No, C?
Yes. No, this is 60. 60.
60 it was.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So the team who is coming up next is C20, Accelerate. So be ready, guys. Right now, the team who is going to present is C12, Creed Dep. Who is presenting?
Yeah, Sakshi Gupta. Hello.
Hi, Sakshi. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be presenting for our team credit. Do I start?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. We are Credit. Next. The problem we solve at Credit is easier access to credit to the backbone of our country, MSMEs. They are low on cash, resulting in job losses and lower production levels. More than 90% of the sector relies on informal lending, mostly because banks are wary of bad loans, despite the huge package provided by the government. It's a manufacturing intense sector and a key component of our Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. So in other words, easier access to credit is our mantra. Next. The solution we propose is a cooperative loan approval system for unregistered MSMEs through a digital platform with special emphasis on unregistered firms. Next. So firstly, we will develop an online platform for the registration of these MSMEs. And after that, we collect data in a very unique way. The locals vouch for each other through a participatory guarantee program, and a metric system is developed out of this data to score these firms accordingly. Healthy firms are then mapped with lenders, and if possible, credit guarantee scheme by the government can also be leveraged. And afterwards, we will be using blockchain to secure our data and make it a transparent and a tradable commodity within the country among the financial institutions. And finally, keeping a track on these scores to push the system forward in the long term is our main aim. Next. This is how our system brings together all the stakeholders for data collection, ratings, and sustenance of the credit information we store for future transactions. The stakeholders include NBFCs or public sector banks or even social cooperative lenders and different people who are open to lending. Next. Certain aspects of our model make us unique. The first would be the way we collect data. Locals vouch for each other and leverage collective bargaining power just like cooperatives. The second would be our credit score analysis takes into account varied attributes while profiling. Appropriate learning algorithm will be used to calculate a score for an entity. Also, this continual data collection and enrichment process will be a priceless asset, which is secure and transparent, guaranteed by blockchain technology. Next. This is basically our web platform. Next. Our product brings together stakeholders to a formal lending sector. We help firms exercise bargaining power to share risks and loans. Monetization will be through a subscription and a service fee. Our area of focus are states of Karnataka and Maharashtra due to greater presence and better governance. Next. So we provide smart credit ratings for the firms, and locals vouch for each other by participation, which is unique. And the credit provided will be cheaper as it is in the formal sector, and our database is secure and transparent, which can be used as an asset. Next.
Your time is up.
Okay. This is last thing. This is our team, and we have varied skill sets, and we look for a new and improved.
Thank you, Sakshi. Judges, you have 2 minutes for Q&A.
Is this a balance sheet based business or just the intelligence?
It has both, but right now we have worked only on the intelligence part, like about how the credit will be, how we will be rating them, and how we will be collecting the data.
Right. And the core is the participatory guarantee, which requires a significant degree of community mobilization.
Yeah.
So what's the plan for that? Yeah, what's the plan for that?
This thing is already tried and tested in the organic farming sector of our country. So when they require certification, a lot of farmers come together. So similarly, it can be done like you can bring your neighbors together. You can fill out a very simple form, and like it can be mobilized through these local rural banks and hello, excuse me. So they vouch for each other on a very basic way.
It's like self-help. It's just that it takes a long time. So that's why I was asking the question. But please carry on. Any other questions? Other judges?
How do you prevent quid pro quo in this guarantees, right? Like I vouch for you, right? And then
it also incentivizes this quid pro quo, like in long term, like you vouch for me, I vouch for you, and if we both do well in the future, we may get even cheaper credit, and like later in the future, if our credit ratings go up, we may even avail these loans for like better technology or upskilling the labor force we recruit.
I think his question was on the moral hazard. On the moral hazard, is that right? Your question, the other judge, was on the moral hazard.
Yes, Padma.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sorry, I couldn't get you.
The moral hazard is you vouch for me, I vouch for you, and both of us fail, knowingly.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that is a loophole, but if they fail, their credit ratings go down and they can't like avail loans again.
Yeah, I mean, that's a classic self-help group issue, so you'll have to work with it.
Sakshi, you do understand that there's a lot many startup platforms that are doing peer-to-peer lending, there's microfinancing happening, a lot of action happening in this field. I don't know how you will be different or how you will be standing out.
Sir, but they haven't made a collective database which rates all of them at the same time.
Peer-to-peer lending has automatic database. You are saying vouching. Vouching is peer-to-peer lending. Whether I lend or I vouch.
Vouching is a way to collect data, I think, in our model.
So actually, you have 30 seconds to complete this. Yeah, please go ahead.
So, sir, vouching is a way of collecting data, but the database is something that the company will do independently.
If I may speak, so peer-to-peer lending is different because we're not, the peers are not lending in our case, they are just vouching for each other, but the payment is made by the banks or the financial institutions.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys. So this is C12, judges.
Thank you.
So C50, CowTrack India, you are coming up next, okay? Be ready. So who is presenting for C20? Accelerate. If you guys are talking, actually you're on mute.
Yep, they raised their hand. I think they just need to unmute themselves.
Maybe let's come back to them.
Yeah. Okay, is C50 is ready? Dana, I think you have to go to next team. Okay, who is presenting for C50?
Dhanraj?
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just got the message. I thought the other sessions was on. Can we start?
Yes, please, Dhanraj.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. We are the CowTrack India team. We thank you for this opportunity today, and we'll be presenting our solution that is an artificial intelligence and IoT-driven contact tracing system. Next slide. As we reopen the economy, we need to consider the plight of the migrant laborers and the MSME enterprises who have been severely hit by the recent lockdown.
Next slide.
Next slide, please. Yeah, that's slide 2. Yeah. There remains very few options for these individuals. Either they reopen their business or get back to the workforce or die of hunger. As we understand about the role of the evolving virus with multiple cure options in the near horizons, reopening the economy, the problem statement should be how do we ensure that is efficient and economical and enables the MSMEs and workforce to return to their near normal working condition. Again, keeping in mind the virus is here to stay, the solution should be not just near term, but long term. And we should make sure that the solution we provide can be implemented in the long term as well. Based on our internal assessment, we have identified that in most of the MSMEs, which are enclosed spaces, there are multiple hotspots which needs to be taken care of. And due to lack of regulations and protocols, in most cases, there is no plan of action on how to contain a new case or to make sure there are corrective measures put in place. Next slide. In order to address the problem, we propose a solution that is an artificial intelligence and IoT technology base, which is not only cost effective, scalable, and can be used for the detection, monitoring, tracking of employees based on their health data and contact tracker. Next slide. So how is this going to work? Let's quickly, next slide, please. So let's quickly walk through the process. As the worker or individual walks into the entry gate, they'll have a unique Bluetooth-enabled device that will be used for their contact tracing. They will be scanned via a thermal scanner, and they'll be asked a certain questionnaire, preferably once a week. The health data and tracking will be eventually saved on a cloud-based system. Using AI-driven data analytics and IoT feedback mechanisms, we will be giving information back to the stakeholders via a dashboard, and all this information is de-identified, meaning the patient data is protected. Slide 5. Some of the key, again, this is the overall perspective. We are taking health data information and contact tracing to develop the AI, and the ultimate goal being using machine learning and deep learning to further refine the algorithm. Next slide. So some of the other key benefits highlighted here are, this is an easy plug and play model, and it can be used via QR scanning method for this registration. Slide 7. So what we propose is two models, one which we work with larger organizations such as government, which will take up the initial cost at a price of $700 to $1,200 Indian rupees, which equates to $10 to $12. And for smaller firms or organizations or MSMEs, 50 to 80 Indian rupees, which also includes maintenance cost. Next slide. So this is the diverse group of people who worked on this project the last 3 days, based on two different time zones, different geographical regions here in the US and India. And thank you once again for the opportunity.
Thanks, Dhanraj. Judges, you have 2 minutes for Q&A.
So Raj, what's the service you're providing? You're providing analytics on how cases can evolve, or?
So the service we are providing is for MSMEs to open up their shops so that workers can enter the shops and do their work in a safe environment, and also track the workers as they're doing the work in a closed environment. So they'll be given a Fitbit kind of wearable device to wear. So as they enter the workshop, they will be thermally scanned to note their temperature, and the tracker or the Fitbit device kind of device, or the wearable, would be tracking their locations. All of this information is fed into the algorithm, which will then put it on a dashboard and tell the stakeholder, the boss of the shop, essentially what's going on and what preventative corrective actions they need to take to ensure that safety is maintained and social distancing is maintained as well.
And so what is the risk of false positives in this case, where you flag something which might not happen?
Okay.
So again, go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
Can I take that question, Dhanraj?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, this is Vaibhav here. To address your question, so false positives can be tackled by having the thresholds set. So, the threshold data will be fed into the system by the company. So, any violation beyond that particular threshold would be only counted as a violation. So, the threshold limit will be set by the company. So, false positives will not be taken into account.
You should also check out a company called Nodal in Bay Area, NODLE. So they also do good stuff there. But good stuff. Like, so are you planning to use BLE
Yes.
on the device?
Yes. So if you can just run back a few slides. So the Bluetooth device. Okay. Yeah, a few more.
One more. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Next.
Time's up, so please answer this question.
Okay, I'm just answering. So it's a Bluetooth device that will be given to each employee to track their movements in the office. So any positive, any person found positive in the system, he can be marked as positive, and you can do a contact tracing. So it's essentially a contact tracing solution with AI enablement to have the temperature and other.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So that is C50. 50.
Thank you.
Have we heard from Team 20?
No, I'm just monitoring the chat as well.
Okay.
So Team C20, if you are here and when you are ready, just put a message on Zoom group chat. Okay. Thank you. So the next team who will be presenting is C18 Digitrans. Be ready, guys. But right now, the team who is going to present is C3 Backbone. Who is going to present?
We're going to present Word to People.
Is it Anurag or
presenting?
This is Anurag.
Both.
I'm going to present, and for the questions part, we are going to collaborate.
Okay. Your time starts now. Go ahead.
Can we move on to the next slide? In 2017, value of Indian agriculture market was valued at more than $276 billion. Agriculture and fishing contributed more than 22 trillion rupees to gross value of India. However, in 2018, due to a lack of a direct marketplace between farmers and buyers, many farmers struggle to live with the money they make. These pressures were a contributing factor in over 10,000 farmer suicides that year. So due to COVID-19, the results could be even more devastating. Next. The problem we want to address is the lack of an efficient trading system that provides transparency and visibility to farmers and small producers belonging to the informal economy. Our platform seeks to generate new commercial connections in the supply chain between farmers, small businesses, and the final customers, thus eliminating intermediaries and bad actors that do not allow flexible market and fair prices. Next. My name is Anurag Sarkar, and with my team at Backbone, we want to help farmers to have a decent and transparent job where they get paid what they deserve for their products. Next. So who benefits from us? Currently in India, there are more than 900 million people in the agriculture industry. So our solution aims to impact at least 10% of the market as a first scope. Our solution works because we use technology that is accessible in the vast majority of India, bringing benefits to farmers, buyers, and the Indian government. Firstly, farmers will enjoy better visibility of their product, transparency of prices, and better return on investment, which adds value to their profession, creating rural employment and increasing India's per capita GDP. Secondly, buyers will have better access and supply from a large pool of farmers at reduced prices, which until now were being pushed up by middlemen cartels. Thirdly, the government can better regulate this online ecosystem to protect farmers from exploitation by these cartels. Most importantly, the government will now have access to large-scale real-time and historic data on urban-rural consumption, exports, and seasonal trends and patterns, which will help facilitate demand forecasting and inventory management. The feedback to farmers lets them know what and how much they will need to produce to reap maximum benefits. Next. The platform we have designed is free and very easy to use for farmers. It brings supply and demand to the same place, showing fair prices and transparent negotiation between the stakeholders. We believe the government can help finance and publicize our mission. Next, we are a team with diverse interests that range from design to engineering, but even so, we all agree that we must support those who have been most affected by the situation and fight together against COVID-19. Next. In the end, we believe that Backbone has the potential to transform not only the lives of millions of people in India, but it also gives us the possibility to do something for those who need it the most. Because technology and innovation only make sense if we use it to transform our reality and dream of a better tomorrow. So would you join us?
Perfect. Thanks,
Right.
Anurag. Yeah. Judges, you have 2 minutes for Q&A.
Anurag, how do you tackle the supply chain problem that once, even if you have a match between a buyer and a seller, how does delivery get done?
Okay, so who will deliver your products? Your purchase is made, who will deliver your products? So the third-party logistics companies come to the picture. And this creates a lot of employment because it revives the gig economy.
But what about, so the buyer has the risk of, let's say, non-delivery, because that is not guaranteed by your platform, right?
Non-delivery is faced by even Flipkart and Amazon, but there are ways to deal with that. So those are the technical side of things. I am presenting to you the business idea.
Okay.
How do you determine quality vis-a-vis visual, vis-a-vis the potatoes? Logistics might cost more than what a cost of potato might be. And how do you tackle with all these low-cost farm products?
What we are trying to do is to.
Okay, Juan, go ahead.
What we are trying to do is to bring closer the farmer and the final customer based on their location. So the logistics will be less, and we will have a better product with less cost.
But quality, how do you assure quality of?
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry, Padma. How do you ensure quality is delivered in terms of whatever is delivered? And whether the farmer sent the right thing and the consumer is not liking it, how do you determine that? Because unlike a Flipkart, a product is packaged, packed, quality, you know, and return is easy. How do you ensure something that's perishable to be returned if someone doesn't like it?
I would like to answer for this. I'm one of the team member. My name is Mamta. So one example I will give you about the quality. If we look at Swiggy, right? So my question is how Swiggy is ensuring that one local restaurant is maintaining a good quality, quantity, everything with the customers. We will get a feedback from the customers. That is also one of the part which is a point in our flows, that we will collect the feedback and we will work on it and we will improve the quality of the products is what we are.
And also I would like to add that
I'm
demand
sorry.
forecast. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. The time is
Is
up.
there time?
Thank you,
Okay, is there
guys.
time for another question?
Thank you
or
so much.
are we done?
No time for more questions.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. So the team which presented is number 3, C003. Okay. So C26, they are next. So be ready, guys. So right now, the team C18 is going to present. Who is the presenter from this team? Digitrans?
Helen and myself are going to present.
Okay, perfect. Your time starts now, Anil.
Yeah, we're Team Digitrans, the one-stop digital solutions for MSME. Next.
So MSME revenue loss has up to 21% right now, and MSME is not prepared to handle these kind of emergencies like pandemic. So only why? Because only 30% approximately have some digital presence right now there, and multiple sites and complex government processes for MSMEs is one of the bottleneck to get the benefit. Next.
Hello. We ran surveys and spoke to impacted MSMEs, and the top challenges were lack of education and lack of awareness in the importance of digital. So our solution here is a one-stop end-to-end platform for digital solutions. We make it really easy and user-friendly experience for millions of micro, small, medium enterprise to access registration with the government, learn tools for building the website and online presence, and give them the ability to connect with any stakeholders, especially at tough times and during COVID, when essential supplies are low and communication is essential across underserved regions. Next.
If we talk about the feature, on one side, there will be MSME, and on the other side, there will be Government of India. So we are trying to just connecting these dots, and what we are going to do, like MSME are going to register with us, then they can display their products and services, and also like any of the company who is be requiring anything, they can also get something. And right from like getting the Udyog Aadhaar to any of the government benefit, this particular Digitrans is going to be one-stop solution. Next. So how we are going to do? We are going to target the funding strategy. We are going to partner with some of the MSMEs associations which are already there in India. We are also trying to get some of the sponsorship from the large corporates, and we may also approach to state and central government, or we also have an option to raise seed funding. Next.
Our solution has significant impacts. So first, digital businesses enable MSME to expand within and abroad. Second, it builds strong communication across all 4 regions, 8 union territories, and 28 disparate states in India. We're providing the education resources and tools to teach and increase networking opportunities amongst our target audience of the underserved. And finally, in the long run, our platform provides data transparency and quality for critical decision-making, productivity, and compliance. Next. So our team is a diverse one with business and engineering expertise from India, USA, and Latin America. And digitization is a key pillar to reviving the economy in India post-COVID. And we provide all the tools in one place via this digital platform.
Thank you.
We're open for questions.
So how do you make money here? You charge the MSMEs for registration, or?
Yeah, we have decided to charge a small fees of 750 rupees for the lifetime registration. And we also can go for the advertisement like if they wanted to rank on first in that case.
Not a question, but a comment that India map is wrong, right? Like it's really wrong.
Okay.
Have you heard of the site called msmemart.com?
Yes.
How different are you from it?
So MSME Mart is not talking to the government, like government websites.
Portal. It is a government portal.
Okay,
It is
MSME Global Mart.
Portal.
Yeah, yeah.
MSMEmart.com is the Government of India portal by the MSME Ministry. It's a marketplace for MSME to sell products.
Yes. So thank you for this particular question. So what we are going to do, like in the registration, if you see that many of the still many of the B2B people, those who are there, they have not registered with MSME Mart, and only people those who wanted to sell certain things, so they are there. But this is going to be a one-stop solution wherein private as well as government, we are also going to tie up with the government. So MSME Mart is...
I'm sorry to cut you short. For government procurement, there is a website called GEM portal, which is government buying from MSME. So there is a GEM portal also that Government of India, Ministry of MSME has. Are you different from that, or you are overlapping with that? That's my question.
No, we are going to like include their them in our ecosystem.
So one of our differentiator is also connecting with associations with states across India, and there isn't a unified platform or service that does that right now. And with a lot of registered MSMEs, associations are the way to get to these unregistered population. So the differentiation is also that partnership that no one has compiled yet for the country.
Time for questions is up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Digita and Dream. Thanks a lot. It's C18. Okay, 18. Okay.
Ram, how many teams have we done, and how many do we have left?
I think we have only 2 teams left.
2 teams. Oh, we're doing a good job.
Yeah, we caught up a lot.
Good job.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So the next team C001 COVID A, you will be up next. Okay. Be prepared. Okay. The team who is going to present now is Connectors. Yeah. C026. Who is presenting?
Yes. Hi. Yes. Hello.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh, hi. We are Connectors. Our motto is connect, collaborate, and improve, because by connecting, you do share information and learn from each other. And by collaborating, you can actually achieve your goals together. Next. So this is our team. We come from different countries. We have Mr. Akshay from India, Mr. Elvis from Nigeria, and I am Alia Muhammad from Sudan. So Mr. Akshay, but we do actually share the same industry. We all belong to the pharmaceutical industry. So Mr. Akshay is an inspiring entrepreneur doing his 3rd year undergrad studies in the research field called nanotechnology. And Mr. Elvis is doing laboratory techniques. And I have 4 years experience in the pharmaceutical industries, purchasing and procurement from China. Next, please. So we are going to talk about the problems faced by MSMEs. There are many problems involved, of course, with low budget and less number of labor. You do have a lot of issues you need to face and a lot of challenges. But what we are going to focus on is the supply chain management aspect in the pharmaceutical industry, and especially in Mumbai, India. So in the supply chain management field, we have also a lot of challenges that can be faced, but we're going to focus on these 4 points: the costs, the risk management, the supplier relationship management, and the quality customer service. So cost-wise, of course, the customer, the patient, and also the SMEs, which will actually get the drugs from the factories, all are and the factory itself trying to get the raw materials. Everyone's trying to get it. It's a whole channel, and everyone's trying to get it with the least possible price or cost, but without undermining the quality. So the risk management, our solution is going to help with the risk management, because by connecting all these together, we're going to have an entity where they can all collaborate and then it can help them with the risk management plan. So the supplier relationship management, of course, by communicating, you will have strong ties with your suppliers, and also as a patient, SMEs. Next. This is the supply chain management, start from the raw materials to the customer. Next, please.
Okay, so now I, Akshay, will be talking about the solution here. So to solve this problem, we'll be creating a platform where we'll have MSMEs and multinational companies together. The MSMEs will be able to register into our platform, a website or something, and we will be in touch with the MSMEs, in touch with the multinational companies. For example, here, because we're doing it on pharmaceutical companies, big pharmaceutical companies and small pharmacy shops. Next slide, please. Here I'll be explaining how we'll be doing this. So we'll have the development phase for the development of the platform, website, and then later on we'll take in registrations by advertising about our platform, that we'll be giving out benefits of them collaborating together with us. And we'll form clusters depending on the field that they're from. And then later on, after that, we will go on to... My time is up.
Yeah. Thanks, Alia
Let
and
them just
Akshay.
complete, no? At least let's see the slides.
Okay,
Yes.
then
Okay.
yeah, can you guys finish in 30 seconds?
Yeah, we can. Okay. Can you go to the previous slide, please? Okay. So here, after that, after the cluster that we have formed from the pharmaceutical small pharmaceutical shops, we can then later have them correlate with one another depending on the supply chain. So if one shop that has lesser medicine and the other needs one, then by interacting with the platform, they will be able to interact and supply one another the medicine. Next slide, please. So once we're able to do that, when the vaccination comes out, we will be able to have an organized chain of which we can help the multinational companies in collaboration with the Indian government to have the vaccination supplied to all these pharmaceutical companies, from the pharmaceutical companies to the pharmacies, which will be much more organized in a way to distribute the vaccine when it comes out. And in this, even in a normal process, when there is no COVID, we can have it much more organized with better regular supply of drugs, depending on specific locations where they would need it. And this would improve quality of service and more sales also for multinational companies and even pharmaceutical pharmacies in local areas. Thank you.
You're aware how existing pharmacies work. I mean, there's typically, some the chain of people in a given state. There's somebody who's like a master distributor, and then stockist, and so on and so forth. So you're saying that you will be the intermediary which interacts, let's say, with GSK or with Pfizer, whoever it is, and supply the goods to the pharmacies. And then amongst the pharmacies in a hyper-local area, you will also load balance supplies. Is that what you're saying?
Hi. We're not actually going to supply it for them because, for example, like the big pharma, like Pfizer and all these big companies, they actually have their own supply channels. So what we're creating here is a platform to communicate and share. It could be kind of like they educate each other, they learn from each other, and also to have that connection between us, like a supply relationship management. So we're focusing on that aspect, not on actually making the supply chain itself happen.
How will you onboard customers? How will you onboard the customers?
So basically, we focus on our customers are basically either MSMEs, which in this case are going to be the pharmacies. In India, you have about 550,000 pharmacies all over, and we have about 3,000 drug companies and 10,500 manufacturing units. So it's going to connect them all together. Of course, there are associations and other governmental departments and even private sectors and platforms that connect, but they always connect the same entities together. Like all the pharmacies will have their own board or association, and the same thing goes for the manufacturing and the drug companies. This one is actually will be able to link them all together, not just to supply, but to actually share and communicate.
But what is the benefit to share and communicate?
Okay, so basically there are 4 benefits, the ones we mentioned earlier, which all related to the supply chain management. One is the cost. By sharing the information, you actually do share more than just information. The information itself does involve all the, for example, the cost of the raw materials. We understand why the manufacturer has higher prices because of the raw materials that, something happened in the raw materials. So that information is kind of important. and it's not actually delivered that scientifically. Usually just the price goes up and down. The rest of the supply chain, maybe they don't understand why. You have also the risk management. As I said, by communicating, you actually help all of them to have a risk management plan, a private risk management plan. So whatever, for example, for the COVID-19, there was a lack for active pharmaceutical ingredients, about 28 in India, and they were not allowed to be exported because they were just, sufficient for the local market. So this will help them all management plan.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Done.
So
Thank
that
you.
is team 26.
Thank you.
And the next team, I think I think we didn't hear anything from C20, right?
That's right.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. The last team who is going to present today is C001. Who is presenting?
Hey, hi, Prasoon here. I'll be presenting along with my colleague Sindhu.
Perfect, Prasoon. Yeah, it's your time.
Thank you. Good evening and good morning, everyone. We formed our team to focus on solving the long-standing labor market friction faced by the blue-collar workers, and we just got aggravated because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Next. We are inspired from the stories of Kumar, a contractual specialized welder, did not know whom to approach when the pandemic outbreak forced the closure of a construction site. Well, he's not unemployed for the first time. In the last 2 years, he had to change 3 jobs. Salma, an owner of a small-scale garment manufacturing business, often spends hours herself stitching and sewing to meet the order requirements in time, leaving her little time to think about the bigger things like growing her business. The missing link for both is this the right information regarding the right job to the right person. Next. Our team, Covida, meaning skilled in Sanskrit, aims to be a one-stop solution for workers to meet SMEs job requirements. Next.
Visualize our platform to cater to both labor workforce and SMEs. On a high level, we have 3 main sections: reaching out to the labor workforce, profile building, which would be done either through the smartphone app or through an interactive regional language-based voice response system. This is for workers who are not adept in using apps. And after building the profile, we would do a skill set to job match and based on the accept or reject, update our portal. Next slide, please. On the SME side, the only change would be that a representative from the SME would be listing the jobs, and upon the acceptance from the laborer, the SME can contact to hire them. Next slide, please. Having laborers and SMEs in one platform is our competitive advantage, where for our laborers, we are providing easy sign-up options and for them to find jobs that meets their needs. For SMEs, on the other hand, we're providing easy discoverability of the laborers instead of using their own personal contacts, and we would also be providing them information on government schemes which are applicable for them. If we consider the national workforce versus the job opportunities, with a large chunk of it in the informal sector, we stand a good chance to position ourselves into an untapped market. Next slide, please.
So once the platform is ready, we will focus on one specific industry within a particular region, targeting at first the app-friendly workers. We're expecting to receive the seed funding from the hackathon and VCs. Taking the feedback from the KPIs in phase 1, we'll scale up in phase 2 to other industry segments within that region, rolling out our IVR helpline also to rope in the non-smartphone workers. In this phase, we'll try to even get funding from the government agencies. In the third phase, we'll diversify our product line and spread to other regions with a large pool of SMEs and workers were expecting to earn revenue from subscription and advertising also. Next, please. So this is our team with experience ranging from app and business development to operations, data management to finance. So you can be a judge on how we can manage this project going forward. Thank you. We're open for questions.
Right on time.
So on the labor side, you mentioned that you'll be starting with the app-friendly laborers. How does that work? I was curious about what do you mean by app-friendly laborers?
So it means that there are already a chunk of, because of the penetration of mobile phone and data within, Indian sector, even the working class have started using smartphone, that we all know. So just for the pivot, for the pilot, we want to focus initially on the app friendly, because building the IVR, it would have an AI backend. And Lynn, who is expert on this, she said that it would take time. But we don't want this COVID scenario, because this is an opportunity for us. Everyone is looking for a job. That's why you want to start from the app friendly first. And then after 3 months or a suitable amount of time, we'll move to the next phase where, you know, our backend IVR system will be up and running.
By the way, who will pay for this?
Sorry?
Who will pay for this?
Yeah, if you go back to the last slide, I mean, yeah, penultimate slide, we have mentioned it that, you know, for every phase we have looking for financing. So for the first 2 phases, we're looking for VC funding, but from the 3rd phase onwards, whenever we have a sizable amount of, you know, laborers and SMEs. For the SMEs, we can start a subscription-based model. And for the laborers, since we have so much a base, it can be a very good ad earning, you know, from the revenue that we'll earn from the ad that will sustain for the timing. And the initial funding, it's, you know, we can scale it very fast.
No problem. It's not that easy to raise funding for an idea like this. So please think through it carefully.
Yes.
It's easily replicable by anybody else, and it doesn't take much to start it.
Have you heard of NSDC?
Sorry, we have heard about MSME Sampark.
NSDC.
No,
yes,
sir.
yes. Of course, you must have heard of NSDC.
It is National Skills Development Council.
Yes, yes,
and
that we have heard. Yeah.
All India registered ITIs, whether students currently or graduates, are listed on their website. They
Yes.
have at least 10 blue-collared, skilled manpower platforms that are already in existence. I've invested in 2 of them. There's lots of competition, and when you made the slide on competition, there are many people around what you are doing, so you're kind of doing what everyone else is doing. Do your research and find out about all these things first also.
The time is up.
Sure, we'll do.
Thank you.
Anyway, good effort.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
We are not listening to team number 20, Ram.
No, I'm just, yeah, I'm asking for the final reminder actually. Is C20 present? C20. No, I think we are done with all the presentations. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, judges. I think there are, now we have the awards ceremony at noon EST time, that is 9:30 p.m. IST.
Good God.
Is there a link?
I thought it was at 8:30 and we had the time between now and then to deliberate.
Yeah, we are
No. I think 8:30 is our deliberation time, if I'm
I
correct.
think now is the keynote.
Yeah.
Now is the keynote time.
What will happen is 8 to 8:30 is a break for us, and there's a keynote for attendees, Padma, and then 8:30 to 9:30 India time we deliberate, and 9:30 is when the results are announced on a different.
Okay, so
Zoom link.
9:30 our participation is probably not necessary.
It is not. We don't have the link for 9:30. We are
it's
on from
8:30 to 9:30. Got it.
The Google
So
Docs
we have
has
a
the
little bit of a
third.
break.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I would
Thank you,
actually
guys.
prefer to refresh now than later. I would have forgotten by 8:30 to tell
So
them.
8:30 we come back to the liberation. The other.
All right. I expect one of you will remember very well.
We come back to that. What do you call the
deliberations?
The key, the link you've given us at 8:30. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Okay, we'll see you at
Thanks.
8:30 then. Bye.
Yep. Bye.